What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fishing. Class is in session. Man, I am broke as a joke. Short on cash. I ain't got a penny to my name. Living paycheck to paycheck. I ain't got 2 nickels to rub together. The economy sucks. So, I've read this stat actually a couple times. The average American family is making more this year than they were last year. More now than they were 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But the average American family has between $5,000 and $7,500 less of spending power and purchasing power than they did just 3 short years ago. And we all know daggum well why that's happening. You can keep lying to yourself if you want to, but I work in the financial markets and you ain't fooling me, son. So if you want 4 more years of being broke, then you go right ahead. But I digress. This video is not talking about why people are broke, why everybody's struggling to make ends meet, why the dollar doesn't go as far as it used to. We all know that gas prices are through the roof. Eggs cost $2 a piece. A gallon of milk costs $12. We get it, right? But I suffer from the exact same affliction that you do, and that is I love knives. And I'm not going to stop buying knives. So I'm going to show you 5 higher priced popular knives, and I'm going to show you the budget alternatives to those knives and save you a whole bunch of money. All right, so first up, we've got a very popular knife. All of you guys know this knife. We've got the CJRB Pyrite. This is the large version, and this is the regular version. The regular Pyrite, the base model, starts at $50. The large Pyrite, this base model, starts at $65, and both of them go upwards to almost $200 depending on what you want to get. Let me introduce you to the Ruike P801. $32 for this bad boy. This P801 is somewhere in between the size of the Pyrite and the large Pyrite. And you can see that the Pyrite has a slightly bigger belly on it, but we have similar ergonomics with these 2 knives. We have very similar aesthetics with these 2 knives, okay? The Pyrite is a button lock and the Ruike is a frame lock. We've got a flipper tab. We've got dual thumb studs. A lot of people in the knife community know about this Ruike P801. $32 for this, half of the cost of the CJRB Pyrite. The Ruike P801. This is an outstanding budget knife. I'm going to link every single one of these knives that I show you down in the description, and you can go check them out if you want to. Because look, if you're like me and you're like everybody else, you're not going to stop buying knives. You're just not. No matter how broke you are, you dig through the couch looking for change, dig through the console of your truck looking for change, you're going to do it, right? So, I'm here to save you some money, people. You a pretty good guy there, Tim Fishing Feller. Hey, Bubba, man, this here Tim Fishing Feller broke as a joke, man. He's talking about he's going to keep buying knives, but he ain't got no money. Man, the government's going to pick this here Tim Fishing Feller up. He's already got more knives than anybody in the whole wide world should have. Now he's talking about buying more knives. All right, so next up is one of my favorite everyday carries, and that is the Kizer Mini Sheepdog. It starts at $70 and goes upwards of $200. Let me introduce you to a budget alternative. This is the Ganzo FIREBIRD FH924. Now, look at this. Very similar size, very similar blade shape. The Mini Sheepdog has a slightly bigger belly, but come on. You tell me this one wasn't inspired by this one. And look, Ganzo, I get it. Initially, this FIREBIRD line of Ganzo knives was for the American market. Back in the day, Ganzo was not very good, but I am telling you that they make some quality knives for not a lot of money. We've got D2 steel on here, G10, deep carry pocket clip, thumb hole. This one right here, $27. And it's 10% off on Amazon right now. So what's that? A little over $24? $24 for this one, a minimum of $70 for this one. And look, I wouldn't show these budget alternatives to you if they were junk. I own all of them. I own the higher priced versions and the budget versions. Why? Because they're good knives. I mean, that thing is dead nut centered, and it comes that way. The action on here is outstanding. I love this knife. Kizer Mini Sheepdog, $70 to $200. The FIREBIRD Ganzo FH924, $24. And don't tell me about, oh, this was a 154 cm steel on there, and that one's just got the D2. That's why, because it's 154 cm. Bro, you ain't doing nothing but opening an Amazon package, and if you think D2 can't get that done, then you're lying to yourself. Now look, if you're out bushcrafting and chopping down telephone poles, then it's a different story, but you ain't gonna do it with this anyway, so don't tell me, what is steel? $70, $24. Boom. Awesome knife. FIREBIRD Ganzo FH924. Look at that profile. That's one bad little knife right there. Come on now. All right. Next up, very popular knife, Ben Peterson design. We love Ben Peterson from NAFS. We've got the Wee Banter. This is a very popular knife for good reason. We've got this big, giant spear point almost blade and this nice rectangular neutral handle shape, which is always good for ergonomics. The Wee Banter starts at $110. The Wee Big Banter starts at $150. Let me introduce you to the Miguron Pelora. $48 for this one. Now, the Pelora is somewhere in between the Banter and the Big Banter. But come on. Come on. And on the Pelora, we get a bigger belly, very similar spear point. We've got that neutral handle shape, thumb studs. I mean, even the body screws are in the exact same place. Tell me that the Pelora was not inspired by the Banter. The Wee Banter, excellent knife, $110. Big Banter, $150. Miguron Pelora, $48. Less than half price for the Pelora. And guys, if you don't have any Miguron knives, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why don't you have at least a Moyaro and a Centurion? And maybe a Valona. Miguron is excellent value for the money. So, if you want an alternative to the Banter, Miguron Pelora. All right, next up is another Kizer. We looked at the Kizer Mini Sheepdog. I love Kizer knives. I think they do a great job. This is the Kizer Drop Bear. Extremely popular knife. You guys know this one. Nice neutral handle shape. Okay, crossbar lock. Kind of a spear point blade. Thumb stud deployment. Everybody loves the Drop Bear. It is a great EDC knife. The Drop Bear starts at $120. Let me introduce you to the Vosteed Raccoon. The Raccoon is $60, half price. Very similar, all right? Very similar blade shapes. We've got the same cutout, finger choil, crossbar lock, a spear point type blade. The Raccoon has a slightly bigger belly. They are very similar. Vosteed Raccoon, Kizer Drop Bear. The Raccoon, half the price of the Drop Bear. And Vosteed does a great job too. And last up, the CJRB Pyrite alternate version. The CJRB Pyrite Alt. Okay, that's the actual name of it, is the Alt. Some people call it the Warncliffe Pyrite or the Sheep's Foot Pyrite. Extremely popular knife. This one starts at $50 and goes upwards of $200. Let me introduce you to the FIREBIRD Ganzo FH31. This one's in carbon fiber. They're not all carbon fiber. You have different options, but we've got a very similar blade shape, very similar ergonomics, and very similar size. That's probably as close as you're going to get to the Pyrite Alt. So the Pyrite Alt starts at $50 and goes upwards of $200. The FIREBIRD Ganzo FH31, $27 with 10% off right now. So about $24 less than half price. It's a great knife. Pyrite Alt, FIREBIRD Ganzo FH31. All right, so class is in session. Let's review. We always review when class is in session. We've got the Pyrite. A good alternative to that is the Ruike P801. Kizer Mini Sheepdog. A good alternative to the Sheepdog, FIREBIRD Ganzo FH924. Wee Banter and the Big Banter, which I don't have to show you. A good alternative to that, the Miguron Pelora. Kizer Drop Bear. A good alternative to that, Vosteed Raccoon. Pyrite Alt Ganzo FIREBIRD FH31. There you go, boys and girls. 5 budget-friendly alternatives to some very popular knives. Most of these are less than or half price or less than half price. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comments. I enjoy interacting with you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click on my face right over there on the end screen. That's it for this episode of Tim's School Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.